And when it's this cold outside, it can be really hard sometimes to catch your breath, and it's an even bigger challenge for people living with lung and health issues. The Manitoba Lung Association has important reminders on how to manage these frigid winter temperatures and to breathe through it. Joining us now is Juliette Mucha, the president and CEO of the Manitoba Lung Association. Good morning, Juliette. Bonjour.
Hello, Rachel.
How's it going? Now, it's so cold, it kind of takes your breath away, doesn't it?
It truly does, and sometimes it literally does as well. But Manitobans, we're used to this. We just need to learn a few little tips to help us out throughout these. Maybe not a day like today, but we've just experienced a few cold days, and there's more coming.
Yeah, no kidding. So now for people living with compromised lungs and breathing issues, how do the cold temperatures make things worse for them?
For sure. Well, this is a great reminder that the cold weather isn't just hard on your skin, like for frostbite, but it can be hard on your lungs, especially during our Manitoba winters. The cold air irritates our airways and triggers some breathing problems. And as you just mentioned, it worsens for people with lung conditions. So there's simple tips that we can provide. And especially on a day like today with Well Let's Talk Day, and it's also National Non-Smoking Week, here's some great tips to just be more aware of your breathing. Especially when you consider can just go outside and we want to enjoy our winters. They're so long as well. Let's enjoy it. So when you go on that walk or going to play some hockey outside, make sure you have something to cover your face. Making sure as well you have a scarf and a neckband, a face mask, especially when you are breathing from your mouth. We do encourage everyone, make sure, be aware. Are you breathing from your nose? Your nose actually acts as a way to warm up the air before it gets to your lungs, because we sometimes feel when we get that gust of cold wind, you lose your breath, and that's when your airways are actually tightening due to the cold. So if we can actually breathe from our nose, use that as our insulation to warm up our lungs, that won't constrict, and it can actually be dangerous for those who already have pre-existing lung conditions.
Okay, and so those are great tips. Now, what else can you do to protect yourself?
For sure. Well, especially when you're, for those who are working outside, maybe try to minimize the amount of time that you're working outside, especially with the extreme cold weather that we've been seeing as well. For those who are having to stay more inside, making sure, well, the winter has been a little bit more on the humid side, which is very different from Manitoba, because typically we have dry winters, but making sure what is the humidity levels in your home, making sure that you have enough humidity to support your lungs as well. When you are inside, making sure that you stay well hydrated as well, because water is very good for your lungs as well. But it's just to make sure as well that, especially when you're inside, people, if they have a wood stove or they have, making sure you have good ventilation, such as when you're cooking and you have turning on your range hoods, making sure that you are supporting yourself inside and outside. And for those who have pre-existing lung conditions, do you have your action plan? Speak with your physician or your pharmacist, and making sure that you have the tips, because we need to make sure that we are staying safe during these Manitoba winters.
Juliette, during this time of year, I always find that my house personally is really, really dry. There are ways to mitigate that as well, right?
For sure. It's just making sure, one, do you have a proper humidifier in your home? Do you have a humidifier guide as well to showcase you could be between the 30 to 50% humidity levels in your home, whatever's best for you, just to make sure that we can try to eliminate some flare-ups as well, especially for those who do have pre-existing lung conditions like asthma, COPD, pulmonary fibrosis, lung cancer, and so on. Maybe checking as well on older adults, or checking your kids who have, because they have smaller airways and they could be more sensitive as well. People working outside or people recovering from respiratory infections, making sure they're okay, and as well checking with your doctor or pharmacist about your seasonalization to protect your respiratory system.